So we are live. Welcome, starting five. I'm here with my guy, Mr. Corey. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Can I say
Yeah,
something? I'm gonna say something. Every
good.
time you say we're live, I hear KRS-One saying live and direct.
You know what? I'm gonna appreciate that. This is the time I agree with you because we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop now.
Mm,
I believe it's August 11th, maybe
yeah.
possibly. So
Okay.
I like that. I like how you threw that
Yeah.
in there.
That was is that might be a deep cut. I don't know. I don't know how many people know Boogie Down anymore.
I don't think there's not. I mean, there's fake guys that do, but
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
how you put that in there though. You
Right.
know
Yeah.
what
I'm like it's been on my mind for months now, but
I mean?
I couldn't help it that time.
Yeah, no, but you know what? That was a good plug. I like
All
that.
right. All
I
right.
really, I actually enjoyed that one.
That was good. Anyway, that was a little bit of an aside. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Brian?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah,
Here we
no,
are in July, just past I guess it was the 4th of July Independence Day.
yeah, that's what they call it, right? Independence
I
Day.
think so. So,
So
it is summer.
since we're the starting five in the summertime, let's talk about some more.
We could talk
I
about the
guess.
summer league,
Oh yeah, it's summertime.
right?
Yeah, summer league, summertime. Yeah, that works.
So, I think they just kicked off the Vegas Summer League, right? After a
Yeah,
couple games in California, a couple games in Utah. Uh,
I'm probably again once we get like national and everything, and
mhm,
we're big time.
mhm.
People are gonna hate on me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like,
you're gonna be hot take, Brian.
I'm gonna be the black Skip Bayless probably. I'm gonna
I'll
tell
be
you.
the white Shannon Sharp.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Mm,
Victor Wembayama, hopefully I'm saying it correctly.
it's as close as I can come to it. Yeah.
Uh, I'm yeah, no, not impressed.
One game in, you're throwing in the towel.
I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm just not
Mm,
impressed because
mm,
there was so much talk about him.
yeah.
Oh, this is the next like LeBron type of scenario
Hmm.
or the next big take.
Hmm.
Who scores 9 points, has 8 rebounds in your first game when you're this is not even what he like in his league that he was playing in, he was killing it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you come to the league and you're not even playing against like the LeBrons or the what I mean the big names yet.
Right. You haven't played
And
Jokic. You haven't
yeah,
played
you haven't played none of
Embiid.
these guys.
Right. You haven't
You
even
play
played
you
Carl Anthony Towns yet.
He's technically playing with his peers,
Yeah.
you know, and you score 9 points. You're
Yeah.
number one pick.
Right.
You have 8 rebounds, and I think I
5 blocks.
mentioned. Oh yeah, okay. Well, he better have 5 blocks because remember what I think when we spoke, off air. I
Hmm.
said this guy is what 7'4".
7'4".
So you're 7'4", and you're getting what 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
First of all, it should be a guarantee of 15 rebounds. You're seven
Yeah.
foot damn four, you know?
Hmm.
And there shouldn't, to be honest, though, like I've seen some of his highlights.
Hmm.
Bro, you should have at least, I don't care if it like hopefully he was nervous or something.
Hmm. Yeah.
And,
I don't know how many minutes he played.
all
He
I
did
know
shoot two
is
for 2 for 13, which is terrible,
I'm
and one
disappointed.
for six
Yeah,
from
two,
three.
and that's another thing. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give. Listen, yes, I'm upset. Well, not upset. I should say disappointed because I was expecting to see this guy drop like 25, but yeah, maybe he was nervous. It's a big stage now.
Yeah.
It's he's his security slapping Britney Spears or whatever is going on.
I think the video showed that she ended up slapping herself.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't, and I'm like, all right, Brittany, why are you
Right.
filing a report? Like,
Yeah,
you're more famous than he is. Like,
yeah.
come on, like it's not that
She's yeah.
serious.
No.
But
Right.
I mean, I don't want to digress because
Right.
Britney Spears is in. She needs to figure out herself. But anyways, um,
So you're not impressed with Wembayama.
right now I'm not.
Was there anything else in his game where you were like
He missed a dunk.
he missed a
You're
dunk? You did
seven
tell me that.
four.
Yeah.
How are you missing dunks at
You have
seven
nothing
four?
with an 8 foot wingspan. 7'4" with an 8 foot
Yeah,
wingspan. Yeah.
you're missing dunks.
Right.
Like,
But I mean,
come on,
did he
bro.
handle the ball well? Did he pass? Clearly, I mean, 5
I
blocks. He's using his
mean,
length on the defensive end.
I uh, again,
Only 2
I
assists.
I'm
He's
gonna
supposed to be able to handle
say.
the ball.
Do you remember? There was a gentleman that played in the league. His name was Purvis Ellison.
I do remember the name.
Yeah, and they called him Nervous Purvis. That was
Yeah.
his like nickname. I don't know like how I can like correlate this with Victor, but
so, so
I
the
feel like
comparisons for the are should be more to Nervous Purvis
yes.
than
I
LeBron
my
James.
thing is it's like I honestly believe that he was a little scared,
Yeah.
you know. I because that's the only thing I can because you're 7'4". Remember, 7'4". How do you get
Yeah.
eight rebounds in your 7'4"?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on where they have him playing. You know, if they don't
Yeah,
necessarily
no,
have him
but
close to
think
the
about
basket.
this. Think about all these guards. Think about
Mm-hmm.
how I'm gonna give you an example. How tall is Russell Westbrook? I don't want to say Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson's shorter than Russell
Yeah,
Westbrook. Westbrook, well, was he like 6'4"?
correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he averaged a triple double,
Mm-hmm.
he was getting at least 10 rebounds.
By definition.
All right. If you're 7'4", a
Mm-hmm.
whole foot taller,
Yeah. Yeah.
how are you only getting 8 rebounds in a game?
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes you get like
No,
rebounds go to
no,
people. Well, no,
stop.
this is not like a knock on Westbrook. This is not, but sometimes you got guys they
Um,
block out and allow the guard to
this
come in and grab the
man,
rebound.
this man averaged. He's 6'4", and he
Yeah,
averaged a whole triple double in a year.
but he wasn't blocking out guys that Serge Ibaka was covering
I don't
or
care.
Steven Adams. So Steven
Let's.
Adams had to clear out the space for Westbrook to come in and grab that rebound.
All right,
Not
but
saying you still got to put the effort in to go grab it. That's not. I'm not trying to take away from what Westbrook did, but that could explain a different scenario,
it can. It can.
right?
And
Like I was watching the
again,
Bucks when the Bucks lost to Miami. Brooke Lopez was blocking out Bam Adebayo, but Brooke Lopez wasn't grabbing those rebounds. So Brooke Lopez was putting in the effort while somebody else was
listen,
grabbing that rebound.
listen. I'm gonna say this to you right now.
Mm.
I like today. I wanted to agree with you, but
Mhm.
it's not gonna happen
Right.
because you got guys that are grabbing 20 boards a game,
Mm.
and they're like
Yeah.
6'9".
Mm-hmm.
Look at your boy, the walking triple double. That's what I call
Mm-hmm.
him. You know, the Joker.
Jokic. Yeah.
This guy is 7'5", damn
Yeah.
near. Well,
Right.
he's just tall as hell,
Yeah.
bro. 8 rebounds?
Right.
No, stop.
How many minutes?
I don't care. I don't care if he played 4 minutes.
Well, if you had
You
8
know.
rebounds in 4 minutes, now we're talking about a whole different world.
Yeah, we are, but I don't care how many minutes he played. I'm telling you, this guy should be grabbing
But if he
at
played 15
least.
minutes,
He played. I think he played 27 minutes. I
mm,
could be incorrect.
yeah,
I believe that's what I heard. But dude, there's so many missed shots in that time.
yeah, yeah. Well,
You are the biggest person on the floor.
he missed 11 of them.
And first of all, he should
Well,
be
he's 1 for 6
grabbing
from three.
he should be grabbing his missed shots. He
Yeah.
missed what? he went 2 for 13. You
Two for
said or two for
13.
15.
2 for 13. 2 for 13.
Okay, so that means he missed. Not so that's you should be grabbing your own missed. Besides the dunk that you missed, and the rim is like a little
Yeah.
Tykes rim for him. It's
Right.
like one of them little plate. All right, I'm done talking about him because Brandon
Yeah.
Miller
Right. We can
scored.
get to Brandon
Brandon
Miller.
Miller. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Brandon Miller,
Yeah.
number 2 pick.
Mm-hmm.
He did his thing.
But it's his third game.
Okay, what the hell? What does that mean?
Well, so
I disagree.
it's you
I
disagree with
disagree.
it being. I mean, it was his third game, and he had 15 points and 10 turnovers in his first 2 games. Brandon Miller. So he had not been impressing previously either. But just experience wise with this game and with the guys that are there, because it's not just rookies that are there. You got a lot of second and third year players that are there as well. So if the game became more physical than he was ready for, I can understand it taking a couple of games to because he's not big to acclimate. It's take him a couple of games to acclimate. He's not a big
Okay,
guy. He's a tall
you
guy,
you
right?
literally sound like a politician right now. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm
Well, I'm
gonna
just
call you.
saying,
I'm
one
gonna
game,
I'm gonna
27
call
minutes. I'm
you.
not going to throw the talent on him yet.
I'm gonna call you Corey Trump.
All right, well, please, that's the worst possible name. I don't not to get political.
No, I have to get because
I
you
mean,
sound like a
Corey
political
DeSantis would
guy.
sound worse.
No, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that to you. That's just that's
That's a
like
low blow.
yeah, I might as well fly up to Jersey and slap you in the face
Yeah,
before I
right.
call you DeSantis, bro.
Yeah, that's a low blow.
But no,
I'm just saying. I'm just
you sound like
saying.
a
One
politician right
game.
now.
Yeah, one game, 27 minutes. Let's see where he is at the end of summer league. Let's see where he
Again,
is after a couple of regular
I'm
season games.
I'm telling you right now, it's not like I'm like throwing in the towel on him
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
I'm like
You're just
I'm
curious
just
as to how he can
I'm
only grab 8 rebounds at 7-4.
I'm disappointed in his first like everybody's like, oh, Victor's playing tonight and such and yada yada and all right, you dropped
Yeah.
9 points, 8 rebounds.
Is
Yeah.
there
And you're what
okay.
let me ask you a question and I don't
Mhm.
have the highlights pulled up, but what was LeBron's numbers in his first
Summer league game?
we'll say exhibition. I don't even remember if he played summer league. I'm sure he
He might
did.
not have. He probably didn't. Oh, maybe he did.
I'm feeling like he didn't. I don't know. I don't remember because that was a long time ago.
Yeah. 2004, 2002, 2003.
2003.
Yeah, 2003. We'll look that up. We'll keep going there. But let me ask you. So I know this. I'm going to take a baseball thing with pitchers, and they might not show you their entire repertoire in a preseason game. Like a pitcher might come out and only throw changeups for his 2 innings of work, just because that's what he needs to work on. Or he might come out and only throw fastballs because he's only working on getting location right, and he might, so a pitcher might come out in a preseason game, throw 2 innings of work, and just get lit up because they're only throwing a fastball because they're working on something in particular. Is that something that happens in basketball? This not to say Wembayama was out there only to work on one thing in particular, but he did shoot 6 threes. So did Popovich or whoever's coaching that Spurs League team come out and say, we want to see what your shot looks like
Well,
in a game setting?
first of all,
So just shoot
Popovich didn't coach that
shots.
team.
No. Yeah, usually I don't think
Um,
the head coaches do, right?
no, he was there, but he didn't coach the
Yeah.
team.
Right. He's
Um,
probably watching in particular.
I forget the name of the coach that was coaching the team, but I do have statistics
For
currently.
LeBron?
Yes.
All right, what do you got?
So in his summer league debut,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James scored 14 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds.
Mm. Okay, so is that much less impressive or more impressive?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely more. I mean, I think it because I actually expected. It's funny because this thing that pops up on my Google,
Yeah,
it has Victor Wembayana. Wembayana. I cannot say his last name, but yeah,
Wembayana.
Wembayama. Yeah, whatever. It has him in this like Google, like it says LeBron James scored 14.7 assists and 7 rebounds in his summer league debut. It turns out that King James did better when compared to Victor Wembayana during his first ever summer league game.
Hmm.
I love how they this again. This is on Google, so I don't know like who the hell the, but
Right.
it's interesting how they are comparing the two.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing I was thinking about a little bit ago when we were just talking about this is how fair is it to compare Wembayana to LeBron James? They're going to be completely different players.
They are, but in terms of fairness, like
Mm.
this kid
Like the
is
hype is there.
like this kid has been doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Granted, he's only
Right.
he's 19 years old,
Right.
and that's somewhat kind of well. Granted, I think LeBron was 18
Yeah.
when he
LeBron was
yeah
probably younger because he didn't
he
have
was
to
like
sit
7.
out.
But the thing is too, LeBron was fouled a lot more because he was they were watching him in high school, so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
Well,
Um,
this many eyes have never been on this kid before.
It hasn't. But I think the last year it has, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yo, who the hell?" They're like, "Wow,
Right.
this guy is
Right.
amazing."
Right. And we're just you're looking at pictures and you're looking at some clips here and there of him, but you never nobody's the average fan and even the fans like us that tend to watch a little bit more haven't really seen an entire game from him until this week.
Which is correct.
Yeah.
Which I will agree with you there. But for this guy to be like, we found out about him because obviously he's playing in France or whatever.
Yeah.
We found out about him, we'll say in the last 6 months
Right.
or,
I mean, his name had been tossed
um,
around for probably close to a year because I think probably around the last draft they started talking about next year's the draft where everybody's going to be interested because
yeah,
this kid is
correct.
over 7 foot. He can shoot. He can handle the ball. He's got point guard skills and like a center's body.
Correct. Correct. But what I'm saying to you is obviously he's been on the radar
Yeah.
because it's not like he's just going to come out of nowhere, even if it's a year. You
Yeah.
just don't
Right.
come out of nowhere
Right.
like in a year,
At seven
you know?
four. Right.
Yeah.
Not at
And yeah,
7'4".
and the kid said, and then he goes number one in the draft, and then like
Mm-hmm.
literally, we'll say, I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, they're like, yeah, this guy is going number one to the Spurs,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And then you get all those memories of Tim Duncan going to the Spurs. And
Yeah,
what that
but
that team became when they weren't supposed to be a number one. They're supposed to get a number one pick. They kind of came out of nowhere, and the lottery balls just fell in their direction.
I believe I believe he may is he playing tonight?
They might be playing tonight.
I believe he may be playing tonight.
But
I
is my question from before? Like, does that happen in basketball? Do you go out in a game, specifically in like an exhibition game, like a summer league game, and try to work on maybe one specific aspect of your game, or try? Would Popovich have said like, I want to get this on tape. I want to see what this looks like. Just keep going back to your 3 point shot when maybe he knew he
no.
didn't have his 3 point shot that night.
No, I'm gonna say well, I don't know like I'm not in that realm right now,
Right.
but I'm gonna say back in the day that wouldn't be what it is. It would be
Yeah.
more so, hey, you go
Go
out
play your game.
there.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
tell him I literally text my son
Right.
that the other day. I said, "Hey, go do your thing," you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't tell him to focus on a certain aspect of his game. Like
Right.
I'm not saying, "Hey, go out there and just hit those
Mm.
threes.
Right.
I always tell him like I literally always tell him like when I've coached him or if I text him or whatever, I'm like, hey, go out there and do your thing.
Right.
Do it. It's more
Hmm.
so do what makes you comfortable.
Right. Is
Um,
there a point where that might change? Because your son is was he going into his sophomore year?
He is going into the
Yeah.
sophomore year, yes.
So now he's probably, he's still developing like an entire game, right? But if you
To
got
be
to like,
honest,
mm,
I mean, this guy, like, ugh. I saw a couple of videos, some clips, and I've been watching him because he's still in Georgia or whatever. He's on his way back
mm,
now, but he's at
yeah,
Peach Jam, and I'm just
right,
like, I watch videos, and I've seen him. I saw games, I live stream games, and I'm like,
nice,
I want him to be more aggressive.
yeah. But
Um,
so like
but
as the game as you get as I guess as you progress in any game really, I think about I'm just gonna keep going back to like pitching because it's easy because it's such a compartmentalized part of a game where, I watch guys like Pedro Martinez, early in his career, and he could mow guys down. And then by the time he got to the Red Sox, he had to add an aspect to his game because he wasn't as physically imposing by that point with his pitches. So he developed the changeup and he developed better, accuracy where he can pin and he was for his entire career, he was one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the league. So like I think about Michael Jordan also and how his jump shot really progressed as his career progressed. That he must have been in the gym working on that specific jump shot for an entire summer. I think he picked out things. There's the last dance he picked out like after they lost to the Pistons for the second time. He had everybody in the weight room. He said, "We're not strong enough, so we got to get stronger to beat these guys." So like
yeah,
as you progress in the game, does it become more important to add like very specific parts of your game instead of just being able to be a better athlete? Like, does that make sense?
it kind of does.
And like where your son is now, is he thinking about adding? So you're saying he's not necessarily thinking about adding an aspect to his game, except maybe just developing the way that he's
Yeah,
played the
I'm
whole
gonna
time.
say he's not. I don't. I and maybe he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this. So me and I'm gonna transition from him to like LeBron, for example.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron really couldn't shoot a jump shot like
Yeah,
in his early career,
yeah.
but he worked on that, and he
His
can.
jump shots become passable.
Yeah, now he's like. Now this man is shooting 3 pointers and like so he worked
Yeah,
on it because,
yeah.
like I said, in his early career, he was just explosive and he could score the ball,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't have that 17-footer. Like he just come down or whatever, and shoot that.
Yeah,
Um, but again, he worked on that, and that's what makes you great when you
yeah.
work on like
Right.
if you know something
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't work for you and you need to make it work for you, you do
Like
that.
you gotta really put in the
Yeah.
effort.
Think about it.
So
Michael Jordan was a 3-point shooter, but
right.
then he has a game, the shoulder stroke game everybody
Mm-hmm.
talks about. He score, he's just like dropping threes. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
because you know what? He worked on it,
He were he put he
So
yeah he put in that effort.
yeah.
So now
So
now I want to transition a little bit back to summer league and not necessarily Wembayana in particular, but you got guys in the summer league that they're not guaranteed a roster spot, right?
not at all.
They're out there and they've got to be better than probably more than a few people, and they got so you're kind of competing. You're out there playing the game against the other team, but you're competing as much against other guys on your team as you are against the other team. But a guy like Wembayana, he's guaranteed a roster spot. Like they're not cutting Wembayana, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
crazy for
I
thinking
think
that. Yeah.
I want to say the top 10 draft
Mhm.
picks are like they're literally guaranteed.
You're
You know what I
guaranteed
mean?
a spot. Yeah, maybe 14. Maybe it's like the
Yeah.
lottery picks are pretty much
I
guaranteed.
forget. Yeah, I want to say it's definitely top 10.
Yeah.
It might be more than that. I don't really
Right.
know the
Yeah.
rules, whatever. I'm not
Right.
part of the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna sign a guy
But
for. You're like they're
but
already signed
I
for
will say
however
this.
much. You're not.
I
You're
will
not
say this:
sending
if
the
you're in the
cheapie.
top 10, you're definitely on the squad.
Yeah,
You know.
right. So then does that give you a little bit of like a break mentally to say like I can go out and have a my game my I don't have to go out and have the perfect game. So and maybe this is what I kind of want to try out. So you have a little bit of you have like leeway there. You're there to kind of get a feel for how that NBA game is going to go. Does that make sense? Could that be like a reason why a guy like a Wembayama doesn't have that pressure on his back to go out there and play the perfect game, so he can kind of play a little more freely, and then he has a bust of a game, or does he have? Do you think he has that pressure on him because he was the number one overall pick and all the eyes are on him, and then he goes out and he shoots 2 for 13, and I think he shot 1 for 6 from three, and the only three he made he got fouled on, so who probably would have
Yeah.
missed that
No,
if he didn't get fouled.
I'm gonna say this. It's like all the hype. Like
Mm-hmm.
for a guy like him, I played a little bit of basketball in my career. I'm gonna say like all this hype.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gotten to him a little bit.
Yeah.
You got Madonna, Britney
Britney
Spears getting
Spears.
slapped.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said
right.
Madonna. I know she's been in the news lately, but it's like it's more so like all this
That
hype.
was
It's
Dennis
it's,
Rodman. That was
but it's more so like some people. It's tough because they're expecting you to, like
yeah,
when you're in LeBron talk. That means you're like technically in Jordan talk, and you're in that.
yeah,
They're expecting you to do all this, and
right.
this is his first game, literally. Like, one, I guess not in the U.S., but I'm just saying, like, in terms of NBA.
In terms of people
Um,
like the NBA fan being able to see him
yeah, and
in a live game.
so yeah, I mean, I said I was disappointed,
Mm-hmm.
but he still. I mean, it was his first game.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some clips from him.
Um,
He can handle the ball.
he can.
You know,
I saw clips too. That's why I said I was
he
disappointed. You know.
right. And getting back to Brandon Miller. He had two
Brandon Miller
busts
did
of
his
a
thing.
game. Yeah, but he had two busts of a game before that game. So there's a moment maybe for them where they're going to be like, oh yeah, it's just basketball. Like this is what I do. This is what I can do. I
You
don't,
know what?
like getting over that kind of
And
mental hurdle.
this is where the talk and the conversation can take a shift.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want these kids to play ball like for 2 or 3 years? Because
Yeah, what were we talking about last time?
obviously, yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So basketball, I think you need 1 year removed from high school to enter the draft.
Yeah,
Whereas I believe football, it's at
I think it's three
least
years.
2 or 3 years. Is
I
it
think it's 3
three?
years. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's three
So
because some of those guys, you're not big. You're not big enough for the
yeah,
NFL.
no, but the thing
Yeah.
is too, like, why shouldn't basketball be the same thing? It's not like I know I'm not like comparing it to size, it's more so like talent.
Yeah.
You do
What
do
if
you
they
want to?
did something like so I think what baseball does is you can enter the draft out of high school.
I feel like
But
baseball and like soccer, you can enter the
yeah,
draft like in middle
mhm,
school.
right.
You could be
But
like
if you
eight
go to
years old.
college, yeah, well, yeah, right. Well, soccer you can get whenever.
I've heard
I
like
think
kids.
I think Messi
I
was like
li-
8 years old. I think you're right when he went to
I feel
Barcelona.
like these guys they can get drafted,
Yeah,
and then they could just continue their lives,
yeah.
and then
So
like
I think with baseball is you can enter the draft, or I think you're automatically in the draft, right? And
okay,
like if you're a baseball player, you can just be selected to go play. If somebody wants to take, like I could still be drafted technically. I don't have to declare for the draft. If somebody saw me playing in adult league and they're like, that guy, he's got something,
really,
right? I
really.
think so. Yeah, nobody's ever going to see
I
it.
don't know those rules, but okay, that's
I'm
cool.
not sure. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure, like, because there's so many baseball players and so many places to put them once they're drafted that there's like 30 rounds. Like they're just selecting guys.
Okay,
And if they want to play, they play, and if they don't, they go do whatever. But I think if you go to college, you have to commit to that college for a certain amount of time, which might
okay.
be 2 years, might be 4 years. I'm not exactly sure what the years are, But if it's more than 1 year, right? So if I like, so Derek Jeter, when he was coming out of high school, he said, if the Yankees draft me, I'll go play for the Yankees. And if somebody else drafts me, I'm going to go play for Michigan. But if he went and played for Michigan, he had to play 2 or 3 years at Michigan. He couldn't re enter the draft the next year. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, it does.
So,
It does. No, it does
yeah.
make
So,
sense.
would that be maybe a good way for basketball to do it? Like, if you want to
No.
enter the NBA, you can come right out of high school. Say maybe you don't go right to the NBA, but you can play on the G League affiliate teams for
I
a year or two,
mean,
or you can go to college. But if you go to college, you got to play 3 years in college.
okay. Now, that makes more. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
think,
maybe
but
it's like 2 years in the G League or 2 years in college, but you can go.
yeah, I just think they need more time,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I,
it takes
I
time. It takes time to develop and understand what's expected of you to be a professional because your life is so much more regimented before you get to the NBA.
let me ask you. Let me throw a curveball at you right now.
Okay.
I'm going to say who's going to be the better rookie because obviously he technically wasn't. I mean, he's technically not a rookie, but he is.
Hmm.
Who do you think is going to be better, Chet Holmgren or Victor?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think initially Chet Holmgren might end up having the better season this year. So does he get into the rookie of the year draft talk?
I believe
Is he
because
technically a rookie?
technically like he did not play,
Yeah.
and I think that's a similar situation with like a Blake Griffin. I believe Blake had this, and I
Yeah,
could
like
be wrong.
a
I could
like
be
a
wrong.
like an injury that took him out of his
Yeah,
first year,
so like he did
like
not play
almost
it
like a
at
medical red
all.
shirt. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah, basically, yeah, like a medical red shirt. I
right.
believe, but yeah, because they're calling him. They're saying that he could be rookie of the year this year.
Yeah,
And I'm like, well, he obviously got drafted, but
right.
he literally only played in like two summer
Seven
league
minutes. He played like
games.
7 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
right.
So,
I mean, I'm gonna have to watch a little bit more before I make a real decision, but I think my gut instinct is that Chet Holmgren has the better chance to have a good year this year.
wow. Okay.
You know,
Do you want to make a
yeah.
wager? Because I know we do this often. I like to make
We do. Yeah.
wagers with you.
You like Wembayana for rookie of the year?
I mean, if I'm following
The hype.
everything in terms of the hype, the social media, everything, like I mean, he's supposed to literally get it.
Right. Yeah,
So
they're both tall and skinny.
no, apparently, Mr. Holmgren added like I think it's like 9 pounds,
Oh yeah. Well,
nine
that
or
was
13 pounds.
my thought was pretty much that he's I think 9 pounds. He's
I
still going to be
mean,
lighter than me.
yeah, he's literally still like 7 foot two, like
Yeah.
200 pounds, 200 maybe
Is he
200.
200? Do you think he's 200 pounds?
Nah, he might be like 185. I don't know. I mean,
I mean, they got him listed at 208.
okay, yeah.
I think just the age, and the fact that he's had more time to play with some of the guys, probably in Oklahoma City. Um, that he's got the better chance to at least get off to a faster start.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I wanna place a wager.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, we could just do a meal. Like
Oh, yeah, we can do. I was gonna say winner buys the jersey for the other person.
oh, I
So if
might. You
Chet
know what?
Holmgren wins, yeah.
I actually like that wager.
So if Chet Holmgren wins, then you got to buy me a Chet Holmgren jersey. And if
Yeah.
Wembayana wins, I'll buy you a Wembayana jersey.
Well, can I have the option for somebody else? I mean, just in case he just like is shitty.
Because then you got to be Wembayana's #1 fan for the rest of his career.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't want a one by jersey that just sits in my closet. I want that something I can wear.
Okay. Yeah, we can jersey of your choice.
Okay, that works.
We'll do
That
jersey of
works.
your choice.
That works.
All right. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I do like that as well. What's the last hot take you want to talk about?
Ooh. Who's been the best player in the summer league so far? Do you think?
I haven't really. I've watched it a
Yeah,
little bit, so I can't
yeah,
say.
yeah,
If I had to throw a name out there, but apparently he got injured, was Scoot.
yeah. I
He was
read some good
balling.
things for Scoot and
Yeah,
one of those Thompson twins.
yeah, and then one of them got hurt, right?
They both got well. One of the Thompson twins got hurt, and Scoot got hurt.
Yeah, Scoot.
That's an
Yeah,
interesting. I have a
so
question though about the Blazers. Speaking of Scoot, um,
that's a
yeah,
listen. I don't even know if you want to. If you have another hour in you, then
yeah.
yes,
But it's more.
bring
Maybe
up the
it's more like
Blazers.
like how old is Damian Lillard?
I believe he's
Is he
29.
how when do you decide to move on from
Or
a
no,
player?
32 or 29. He's not 32 or
He's
29. One of
32.
those
He's
32.
not young,
Okay.
so he's not that young. So
But he is
no
kind of
question.
still young. I mean,
He's still young.
32, bro.
Yeah, 32 is not. I mean, 32 is not old. No, definitely not in this NBA.
I'm not gonna put my age out there, but he's a lot younger than me. And
Yeah,
I'm still moving around.
yeah. So have
Well,
you played your son 1-on-1 yet?
no, no, no. I
Sorry, I didn't mean to
mean,
bring
I'm
up.
not, yeah, no. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that.
Okay,
Actually, I actually
so
pretty old. I'm pretty old,
yeah,
actually.
right. I'm too old for this. I'm Murtaugh. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, no, I'm too old for that shit. Yeah.
So how is Damian Lillard too young to move on from, or
No.
are the Blazers past the point because of where they really are?
The
Like it would
see,
take.
I'm
How
gonna
old
say
would Damian Lillard be when they were ready to win with him again?
I'm gonna tell you the problem with this whole Dame Lil this I trust me,
Mm,
he's one of my faves.
yeah,
I love Dame time.
yeah,
Yeah, the boy he could ball. You know what I mean?
100%
However, the problem is he should have left Portland
already.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
And Portland gave him like all this dough,
Hmm.
all this
He wanted to
money,
stay. He wanted to win there.
He did. And I don't blame him for that. However, now he's like, you know what? I want to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Portland can't really they can't really because they gave him whatever. I don't even know how much money. He's got a whole bunch of money from
Right.
them.
Right.
And it's like you can't just trade him to
Right.
another team because
You got to make those numbers match.
yeah. I saw one of my agents was like, hey, they're like, look at this. They're Miami fans, so they're like, look at this trade package because obviously he wants to come to Miami now,
Yeah.
and it was like a 5-team trade package. I saw like Zach Levine getting moved,
Wow.
DeMar DeRozan.
Wow.
Um, obviously it was just a
A
potential
lot of
trade.
moving parts.
Yeah, and I'm like, how the hell? I'm like, how does one guy at 32 like how do you that's crazy to me. I honestly
Right.
don't think this trade's going to happen
No, it's going to be tough.
because
But yeah.
nobody has the money. I don't think anybody has the money because his contract is stupid.
Right.
So
Unless there's another aging superstar that is on a big contract
dude,
that team is ready to move on from also.
listen, I looked at this potential. It was just a like
It's a
someone I don't
lot.
know
Yeah.
who, but I was looking at it. I said this is not going to work. I said one, there's too
Yeah.
many teams, and
Right.
I was like, it's too many big players. They had Nurkic moving to, they had
Yeah.
like I said, I saw Zach Levine, I saw DeRozan. I said this shit ain't gonna work. You know.
Right. So, but I think the reason why he asked for the trade is because they drafted Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, no. I mean, think
So
about it.
they're pretty much
That's
saying, yeah, they're pretty much saying to him that we're not rebuilding with you on this team. We're drafting essentially your replacement because they play the same position. They're the same. They're both
think
ball dominant point
think about
guards.
this. Think about this. And I'm gonna throw a curveball in here. Look at the Green Bay Packers
Hmm.
when they drafted they I think they snuck up in the draft to draft
Jordan Love.
correct.
Yeah. Right.
So, like, you're telling Aaron Rodgers, "Oh yeah, no, do we still need you, or can we
Right.
trade you?" You know?
Right. And it's you got Scoot. At least in football, you can put Jordan Love on the bench for a couple of years, and then move on from Aaron Rodgers. The way that the Packers did with Favre and then Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
So my question really is Brandon Miller went number 2 overall, right?
yeah,
And Scoot Henderson went 3 overall. But I think Scoot Henderson was the bigger prospect. But you're not going to draft Scoot Henderson with LaMelo Ball because that's the same position. So would it have made more sense for a team like Charlotte to try to trade out of that pick and get further back? Maybe could have worked something with Portland, because Scoot Henderson isn't going to make it past 2 with any other team there. And then,
yeah.
or does it make more sense for Portland to trade out of that spot and try to get a bunch of pieces to put around Damian Lillard, or do what they did and try to now trade Damian Lillard? Because now you're in the same situation that Charlotte was trying to avoid by reaching for Brandon Miller at number 2.
That's a wonderful, wonderful question.
Yeah,
I think that needs to be talked about in the next episode.
we could do that. We could do that.
I
There's
think,
another trade a couple of years ago that made me think of it, and it's when the Celtics traded back out of the number 1 pick to get Tatum at 3 because Markelle Fultz was going number 1.
correct. Yeah, I remember that.
And I feel like that could have happened in this last draft, and now we have some interesting scenarios where Brandon Miller went number 2, and now Damian Lillard needs to be traded.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah,
going to be topics for another day.
that's just true. That's
Yeah.
definitely true.
Yeah.
I think.
So you got anything else?
No, no. My wife just landed. She was like calling and texting me. So
There you go.
um, I gotta get back.
If
to
it's
her.
anything like Newark, she's got 3 hours on the runway to get off that plane, so you got time.
Yeah, you're crazy.
But better you're there if she doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's true. Let me call her because she may need a ride.
Yeah.
So let me.
Yeah. We could wrap this up right here
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and leave those topics for the next time.
Correct. I think
We got all summer. We got all summer. We got more summer league. We got plenty of topics coming up.
We definitely do. All right, my man, Mr. Corey.
All right, Mr. Bryan. We'll talk.
Yeah, well.